Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we're going to be looking at the best art from the Pokemon trading card game Platinum series. We've already done this with Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Today, we're doing it with Platinum. Only 4 sets in Platinum, so I'm going to show you the best cards art-wise, and you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a comment section. I would love to know what your favourite art from these sets is, so go and chuck it down in the comment section. Disagreement is good, but as always, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, because I would love to hear it. So starting off with the Platinum set itself, so named because it was the first of the bunch, we start off with Dialga G, and there's something about Dialga G that this was a very iconic card, a very good card. It saw an awful lot of play for the deafen attack that stopped trainer and stadium cards, but I just like the fact he's dancing around in a lightning storm, to be perfectly honest. And following on with this theme, I am going to add Palkia G to the list, and it should serve as no surprise if we look at them side by side. It looks like they're literally just cut out of the same picture. They're brilliant, they're wonderful, they make the list. We also have an Empoleon card in Platinum, and maybe it's just because I've been playing too much Pokémon Tournament lately as Empoleon. Maybe it's the leaves floating daintily in the water, or maybe it's the fact that he's trying to look mean but clearly failing quite spectacularly. Either way, I like this Empoleon. But someone who's not failing to look mean is Gyarados G. Now, I did do a video about SP Pokemon. If I remember, I'll try and pop a link to it in the description. Gyarados G is basically, it's a basic Pokemon, even though it's a stage 1 Pokemon. That was the whole SP gimmick. He's in water in a lightning storm, which scares me just a little bit. That does not seem good for him. But I suppose, as with all of these, it's a bit dramatic. And apparently, I like drama, although the next card on the list has no drama whatsoever. It's Piplup. He just looks serene and adorable. And come on, ladies and gentlemen, how can you look at this video and not feel joy in your heart? He's just sat at the bottom of a little waterfall, just chilling at dusk. It is one of the loveliest things I've ever seen. And I've decided in this video, somewhat arbitrarily, but I'm doing it, 1 level X per set. I'm only giving you 1 level X rather than just putting too many on there. And the level X I've picked from Platinum is Giratina level X. They all have a very similar art style, Pokemon popping out, looking a bit mean. Something about Giratina makes me want to put him on the list. And given that it is my list, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fairly sure that I'm allowed to. Moving on to Rising Rivals, and we've got a little bit more in terms of, you know, these mythical, legendary style Pokemon. We've got Darkrai. I like Darkrai, ladies and gentlemen. Darkrai G, to be more specific. He just looks a little bit spooky, and once again, we've got the whole lightning storm thing going on, which apparently is my bag and something I enjoy. Next up, Flygon. I like Flygon. There's something weird about the Flygon card. You can't see much of the landscape. It's mostly just sky, but I suppose he is a flying Pokemon, so we can maybe forgive him for that. He looks kind of a little bit confused, like he might be a little bit lost and trying to find his way. Either way, I think he looks kind of cool. And then, of course, and anyone that knows me well enough and knows the set list well enough would know that this was coming, Mamoswine. I don't care what the artwork looks like, ladies and gentlemen, unless Mamoswine's in pain, in which case I'm not buying it. Mamoswine is amazing, and I love him, and there's no way I was going to make this list without him. Now, one of my favourite Pokemon, but Vaporeon is awesome. There's something about this Vaporeon that's just great. Swimming underwater, not got a care in the world. I want to know what he's looking for. I like to think he's chasing a fish or a ferret or something underwater. Either way, he's brilliant. And carrying on the EV theme, let's stick Flareon on this list as well. Now, Flareon I do like. Flareon is my favourite evolution. But look at him. Look at him go. He looks somehow fierce and delightfully happy. That's a good combination. And one of the things I like about doing videos like this, we don't get to look at commons very often, but we do get to look at a common for the last card that isn't the level X from this set. It's Turtwig. Look at him. It's Turtwig. He's not fierce. He's not scary, but wouldn't you know it, he is making a big go of looking scary. 1 level X per set, and again, shouldn't be a huge surprise to some of you. Snorlax level X, look at him. He's hungry and cheery and lovely. And I've said this before on some of my videos, but fun fact for those of you that don't already know, this was given away as a promotional card for Domino's Pizza in Japan. Buy pizza, get a promotional level X. Not even some random card, an actual level X. How cool is that? Very. Moving into Supreme Victors, which was a set which gave us a lot of playable cards, shall we say. And we're going to be starting off with Regigigas FB. Now, I am a Regigigas fan, I will admit that. I am proud of that. But I suppose it's the action shot going on here. We've seen lots of pictures of Regigigas just kind of wandering around, looking like a big, slow, lumbering brute. Nice to have an action shot here. Speaking of action shots, Camerupt G. Maybe he's about to attack, maybe he's just scared, maybe there's a mouse running around and he's trying to avoid it. I don't know. What I do know is, I like the artwork. And weirdly, and it's not a Pokemon I have any real affinity for, but Dugong. Look at his derpy little face. That is one of the derpiest, cutest, although I must really stress, derpiest faces I've seen on a Pokemon card. How could I not put it on the list? And again, I'm sorry, but it's happening. There's another Empoleon on this list. Look at him. Look at him, ladies and gentlemen. Another action shot. He's going for it. Again, maybe it's the fact that I've always loved Empoleon. Maybe it's the Pokken tournament thing going on at the moment. Either way, Empoleon's my boy, and he's making this list. And apparently, he's making it twice. Now, a card that foiled me greatly back when I used to play Donphan Prime a lot was Honchkrow. But I do like the artwork. Just the fact that he's looking at you, kind of looking behind, out the corner of his eye. There's something about it, ladies and gentlemen, that I like very much indeed. And then, of course, how could I not add Delighted Looking Wailord doing a backflip? You've got to have Delighted Looking Wailord doing a backflip on this list. I defy anyone to tell me he doesn't deserve it. And then maybe it's because I'm a Garchomp fan, maybe it's because it's an iconic, really iconic card that really defined the meta at the time, but we've got to put Garchomp C level X on this list. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Garchomp's awesome. This card defined the meta, although, just to be clear, it's a video about artwork, it's not a video about playability, but look at it, ladies and gentlemen. It's just cool. He is coming to get you. Although, annoyingly, it's not a great character in Pokken Tournament, at least not as far as I can figure it out. And finally, the Arceus set. Although I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a huge fan of any of the Arceus cards. We'll chuck one on the list just to say we did, but I'm not a huge fan of any of them. One card I do like is Swalot. Or Swalot, or I don't really know how it's pronounced. It's not a Pokemon we talk about very often, to be perfectly honest. It's not a Pokemon I'm particularly fond of, but there's something about the nighttime scene with the clouds and the moon and looking up and us kind of peeking at him while he's peeking at the moon. There's something about this card I really like, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but that's okay. It's cool. And then, of course, we got to add Golem to the list. Golem is my boy, and I love this artwork. I love the style of the drawing. I love that he's climbing a mountain. There's the trees in the background, although he can probably take a fall or two and it wouldn't hurt. But once again, I want to know what he's looking for. It looks like he's found something on that mountain. I want to know what it is. We have a Porygon Z in this set. I like Porygon Z. I like Porygon Z a lot. I like all of the Porygons, ladies and gentlemen. But you got to put a bit of Porygon Z on this particular list. I like him. He's cool. And just look at the artwork, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at it. It's one of those cards I'm not sure how much detail I particularly need to go into. It's just cool. And then Charmander. Again, we don't get to talk about Charmander very often. We're normally talking about his big boy brother, but he just looks so happy, and he's standing on a rock. Now, it might be that he's standing on the rock in the middle of water, and he knows if his tail goes out, it's over. Maybe he's actually terrified, but I like to think he's happy. And sticking with the basics that are first partner Pokemon, how about a little bit of Trico? This is purely stylistic for me. There's something about this painted art style that I like a lot. And then, just because we need a level X in every set, because I don't know, I decided it, Gengar level X. He's working up a Shadow Ball, he's coming to get you. I mean, all the level X's are coming to get you. That was kind of the art style, but it's still pretty cool. And we need to chuck an Arceus card in here, so how about Fire Arceus? I don't know, it's probably the best one. Although Water Arceus was pretty good as well. Maybe we'll do Water Arceus instead. I wasn't a huge fan of the art on any of the Arceus cards, but you know what? It's always nice to sit and look at good Pokemon art. It's not something we do very often, but it's something I like doing. And to be honest, the feedback I got on the previous one was pretty cool. So, you know, why not, ladies and gentlemen? Why not? But as always, I want to know your opinion. Tell me which of these cards has the best art. Tell me which artwork from the Diamond and Pearl Platinum series of 4 sets that you particularly enjoy. Let's get a discussion going in the comment section. It's always fun. And of course, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. That's where live action happens. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.